Hi, my name is Rachel, and I'll be presenting careers and expectations in the psychology discourse community. So, a quick overview of what I'm about to be talking about: textures, genres, and modality, rhetorical analysis, beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors, and then pathways and expectations will be the main bulk of it. So, text genres and modality, there's a lot of texts that are shared in common within the psychology discourse community, such as journal articles, research papers, conference posters and papers within like IO psychology, textbooks and lectures within professors and students who are studying psychology, and then TED Talks are also common. The genres would be informational, academic, professional, and personal. And then the modality would be linguistic, meaning like the journal articles, research papers, and then sometimes visual, which is what like the TED Talks, like I just said. Rhetorical analysis, psychologists in their discourse community, they are formal, evidence-based, and explain their research through professional communication. Um, and they use pathos with a descriptive language and real life examples to help connect with the reader emotionally. Ethos, they extremely value credibility within this discourse community, with their qualifications, and they reference scholars and famous studies to enhance their credibility within their research. And logos, they use logic in their research with evidence-based studies and experiments and all that good stuff. So the beliefs in the psychology communities that they believe in understanding human behavior and why humans do the things that they do, and then they believe in the importance of mental health. Along with attitudes, they're very passionate about their field of study, about improving mental health in others, and that psychologists also have an open-mindedness, understanding why people think the way that they do. Behaviors include active listening, confidentiality within their patients, and then education research. Research is a huge part of psychology. Okay, now we get to career pathways. The most common career pathway for psychology majors, even though it's like the hardest with the most schooling, is like clinical psychologists. They conduct research to advance the understanding of mental health. They also develop treatments. Psychologists might specialize within certain fields such as anxiety disorders, PTSD, substance abuse disorders, trauma, things like that. And it can only be practiced with a PhD or a doctor of psychology, which is about 8 years of school. A lot of debt. And school psychologists, this would be in the educational setting. They conduct evaluations on students. They also create and implement prevention programs for things such as bullying and substance abuse, and also mental health challenges because it's super big and within teenagers. And then you need a graduate level degree to practice psychologist to be a school psychologist. So it's a little less than a PhD. Wow, it's like a bachelor's degree. Forensic psychology, this is also where the schooling comes in. You have to have a doctorate in psychology or a PhD. And the field brings the gap between psychology and the law, using psychological knowledge to inform legal processes. They also consult with attorneys and law enforcement, and they also are often expert witnesses in court. So that's pretty legit. Looking job with a lot of school. Social worker, this is also one of those jobs where you can do it with little schooling. You have to get a CSWE, which is Council of Social Work Education. You have to take that program after you graduate college, and then you can practice being a social worker. But they use their understanding of human behavior to advocate for clients and communities, um, and they provide support with issues such as like stress and trauma within the workforce. And then sports psychologists, which is something that I will hope to be one day. They teach athletes mental health skills and self-talk, goal setting, and then like retirement transitions, new role transitions according to what they need. And they work in different settings all the time, professional settings, like elementary schools, all that. And career expectations, like I said, in pretty much all of the psychology education or psychology careers, you have to be able to work in diverse settings. Um, you have to have an understanding of others, involve and be passionate about improving mental health for others, working in diverse settings, like I just said, research, like I said, huge part of psychology. A lot of training to do to be able to get where you want to be in the discourse community. And then professional work life balance is sometimes difficult because of the mental strain people say that being a psychologist could put on you. A lot of psychologists say they have an extreme job satisfaction because they are helping others as well as doing things that they're passionate about. So these are my citations for all the pictures and visuals that I used, and thank you. Hope you have a great rest of your day.